So I don't know if you guys heard, but there's no more pay for those earning 30,000 Kenyan shillings and below. The Treasury CS, in a collaboration with the man in charge of the country, said they are planning a proposal to take to Parliament to exempt Kenyans earning 30,000 and under from PAYE. Well, before you rejoice like J. Cole fans over here, the fall off of that PAYE isn't official yet. Plus, we have officially entered campaign season, so it's good words, vibes, and inshallah. Kenyan pay slips have been looking a lot like a defunding program for citizens, courtesy of the government. But if you scratch GOK close to elections, you can find logic, reason, sudden empathy, and other things that they're not known for. This Wheelbarrow Season 2 promise will impact 1.5 million Kenyans. That's what they're estimating if it takes effect. Even though PAYE may have been scrapped, emphasis on May. Kenyans still are in the boxing ring with SHA, housing levy, and the latest entry into the grand rising pickpocketing statutory deduction, NSSF. I'm sure the good doctor knows NSSF has gone up. The Treasury CS also said that people earning 30,000 Kenyan shillings and below should only be spending that money on rent, food, and other important things for their families, not taxes. Kenya's current living wage is actually estimated at 30,531 Kenyan shillings, meaning that PAYE exemption still places all those earning these wages below survival pa kukapitia. Beyond this PAYE savings introduction, which you've had, NEMA will be charging people more for sanitary towels and diapers for the environment. So whatever 700 shillings you're saving from PAYE can come in handy for like 3 packets of pads and some diapers and even aluminium if you're buying it. And people earning 24,000 shillings are already exempt from PAYE. So their proposal also hopes to reduce the next band of PAYE rates from 30 to 25%. However, NSSF newer higher rates are coming in with that assist to pick up where maybe the PAYE is living. And remember, GOK still has other pay-as-you-eat schemes like VAT that are still in play. So away from all the love for your pockets to love from the Office of the Attorney General and a little bit of hate from the Central Bank of Kenya. The Office of the Attorney General has set up a VVIP lounge for civil marriages ahead of Valentine's. Mercury this month is in lover's grade, and I'm just shocked. Like, what do you mean this country is capable of human treatment?
They're not known for that.
Yeah, not really. We've seen the story like today. The Office of the Attorney General said they did this setup to provide a dignified, serene, and welcoming environment. You know, all the things Karura used to be for people getting married. The setup is complete with flowers, white chairs, and an arch, so you can do one for the gram at the entrance, and then you can really tell, like, love is in the air fryer. You know, you can smell it everywhere. I'm not one to step out in the name of love, but how much did that setup cost? Can we see those procurement documents?
Yeah, someone from that sofa.
I'm always curious. I need to see those side by side. The Office of the Attorney General is returning what the CBK may have taken from lovers after they issued a warning that money bouquets are ruining notes. Here's that clip.
Now, florists have pledged to comply with the directive issued by the central bank in controlling how banknotes are used within the national economy to avoid mutilation, such as creating money bouquets as Valentine's Day approaches. Our young people involved in the trade say such creativity is their source of livelihood and warn that CBK's regulations could stifle a business that had begun to thrive. And as Martin Opio reports, they caution that these rules could be misused to harass them and cripple their businesses despite complying to the directives.
So the bouquet creatorverse is severely hit, as many of them say this is the best way for them to express themselves. Like this lady.
Bring a more effective feeling or something, like you feel the quality, you feel the intensity of the gift. Bring a more effective.
I'm so sorry to all the artists of these bouquets. CBK does not care about the intensity of your art. They've given you an immediate talanta, hell nah, to all of you. So Valentine's haters, this is your time. You've definitely won this round. Cupid may have refused to visit you this year, but CBK said you will not be alone. You will still feel that love from a fellow hater. So CBK said that the money is theirs, like the notes themselves are theirs, and they choose how you use it. And failure to do so is going against the Penal Code Cap 367. For all the lovers out there, true love surpasses all the notes understanding, so just use flowers. CBK said gluing, pinning, and folding counts as criminal activity, so please, whatever you do, just try and keep your love committee free. The person who had gotten all that, the person who had gotten all the change ready, you know, from all the notes, has to go back to their consistent customer base, the matatu drivers and conductors, so good luck. Jealousy is a disease case, CBK. Not sure who at your headquarters is foreshadowing being forgotten on Valentine's, but you should heal. Let people enjoy things. Hit up the factory for some personal gifts for yourself because you still have time. And now, away from lovers, we have a bit of Zaka to end the drought. So according to the National Drought Management Authority, the current drought in arid and semi-arid regions of the country has affected 2.1 million Kenyans. Here's that clip.
According to the National Drought Management Authority, at least 2.1 million Kenyans in the 23 arid and semi-arid areas are in dire need of relief food.
So at least 32 regions of the arid and semi-arid parts of the country have not seen rain for consecutive seasons. Therefore, water is scarce, just like Lang'ata residents experience. The Kenyan Red Cross estimates that about 784,000 children are malnourished, while nearly 300,000 households lack adequate food supplies. Although the Met warned of this situation months beforehand, GOK loves to work under pressure, to deliver nothing, as residents are grappling with water scarcity and massive loss of livestock. Northeastern leaders have done their fair share of satellite appearances from Nairobi to reassure that constituents, affected, that they are working sometimes on the clock to make sure that they receive every single thing that they need. Arid and semi-arid areas in Kenya have severe abandonment issues just from history. So many funds have been put in place to equalize that. Women and children currently are eating wild leaves to deal with the hunger, but the Eldas MP recently argued that the cost of living has significantly reduced because the dollar is down. But the dollar hasn't found a way to drop into the pockets of their residents for food and water. One of those senators from the region even claimed that the horrors of the drought persist because pastoralists do not pay zaka. Here's that clip.
Sisi kama wafugaji tuko na tatizo moja. Mtu hata akikuwa na ng'ombe 100 na mbuzi 100, huyo mtu hawezi kutoa zaka kwa hiyo wanyama.
Personally, I didn't know there was some prosperity claims of the gospel in the Muslim community. Also, what amount of zakah should 14-year-olds pay when they're supposed to be in school and they're currently digging wells, while others are completely exhausted from the search of water? How should they be getting, how much should they pay for them to be getting the share of the rain? So to all the leaders of the region, send your answer to this question to *9#. And lastly, we have a tennis star whose light has been dimmed a bit because Angela Okutoi, who is a star champion, is currently fundraising for 10 million Kenyan shillings to go pro as a WTA player. Kenyan athletes taking up any sport less played are severely underfunded. We saw this from David Munywa, who played darts, and Alexandra Ndolo, who's a really good fencing champion, who have had to use their money or dish out a begging bowl to be able to compete. Even if the ministry can't put 2 and 2 together for Angela to get her sponsorship, at least they can put her in a position to be in rooms with people who can. Angela has 13 ITF doubles championship titles and 4 singles titles, and she has won all this just by faith and professional sight. It's no wonder even former winners are on sports Tinder, just kind of swiping right on new countries, willing to take them. Like Bridget Kosgei, who was a former Kenyan marathon world record holder, who switched her allegiance from Kenya to Turkey. So building a stadium worth 44 billion plus interest, when athletes' welfare itself is barely hitting those second serves, so they have to walk around begging for assistance to advance their professional careers, means that the government's priorities are as clear as the visibility in Limuru in July.